Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. Right off the bat, people, we have a problem. And I want to cover that with you right here. For quite a while now, I have explained to all of you, maybe in not such a great way, because I'm still getting questions about this, even this morning. But this is important here, and I want you to focus on what I'm about to say. Right here at the top, this is the US 10-year yield as I am doing this video blog. This is the current federal funds rate, the low end of the federal funds rate. I have explained to you, we've discussed this for a while now, if we reach a par between these two, in other words, if this 10-year yield comes up just a little bit, and gets to par or equal with the federal funds rate, the low end right now, which potentially could drop tomorrow with the Federal Reserve's announcement, there's going to be a problem here. Right now, the market is not reacting very favorably to what's happening here with regard to the 10-year yield. This is a sell-off. The debt market is selling off. For whatever reason, okay, it's a time bomb. You know that. It's going to go off when, I don't know. But I can tell you that the market is not going to like this. So a couple of things could happen. The Fed could intervene, start buying more of the debt, push down the 10-year yield, and everything will be just fine, or not. And look, you already know this, but I'm going to tell you again. The greatest threat facing not just the stinking stock market right now, if you want to just discuss the financial system, is a locking up of the system. In other words, a credit freeze, the stopping of the flow of debt through the world economy and markets. And this is going to it's going to happen. It's a matter of time. Going to wreak havoc on the world like nothing you've ever seen before. Transactions will stop. No cash in the bank. There's zeros across the board. The stores will be cleaned out in a nanosecond. It'd be over. I mean, literally over. So this is an issue that we are going to face. There's just no doubt about it. Now, I got something wrong here, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. This is the MMRI this morning. On the back of what's happening here with regard to the 10-year yield and this almost par with the federal funds rate, low end. I did not believe this would happen. Okay, we've now broken back above where I thought we would go here. That's an issue. That's an issue as well. So I want to apologize for getting this wrong. When I make my calls on where I believe things will go, it's based on information at the time. I just want you to, I'm not making excuses for anything, but it's a fact that everything is fluid. Now, with that said, let's keep our eyes on this. This is not good. You all know that. We're almost right now at a high risk area with regard to the MMRI. I want you guys and girls to watch this here. Keep your eyes on that. If this goes up, I'm going to tell you right now, the market is not going to like it. And I mean, just as an example of this, look, this is this morning. Futures pressured by rising yields. And that's exactly what we've been talking about here. Look, we're not the only ones watching the benchmark or the 10-year yield here or the whole freaking yield curve right now. It's an astonishing thing. You have to realize what's going on here. Central banks in here, the Fed none more so, artificially suppressing rates, obviously destroying the purchasing power of the currency. This is massively destructive to the economy and, of course, to the people of the world. And this is things. It's just it's an incredible situation to watch, in a mechanism to keep that stock market propped up. We don't get pullbacks. We don't get drops anymore. We don't get corrections anymore. It's nothing like I've ever seen before, and there's a price to pay. All right, look, I'm all about this entire thing. You all know that, but we have to always realize that nothing is real. The information they give us, the propaganda, the distractions, the deceptions, the UFOs, whatever it might be, it's just a mechanism of deceit on a scale that is freaking biblical. That's all I have to say. Okay. Now with that, You and I, we're watching the debt market. We're watching things like the MMRI, and we always have to be ready for a worst case scenario because that's where we're going. All right. So just to push this point home, we do have a problem here. This is very bad. I'm telling you right now. This 10-year yield here reaching almost par with the federal funds rate. You can see what's happening to stock futures. This is a headline here from Reuters. They're paying attention to this as well. So let's see what happens with the Fed tomorrow, and if the Fed intervenes. I mean, I believe the Fed's going to intervene. I don't think they're done yet. Fostering this wealth transfer to the 1 and 2 percenters, sucking us dry on every. I mean, I just don't think they're done. There's not enough dependency on the current system yet, at least in my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to have to ride this out together, and we will. Now, this run here with regard to Bitcoin here, Trump's comments yesterday really did put another boost behind Bitcoin. Trump has been talking about adding gold. I'm sorry, not gold. I wish we were adding gold to the strategic reserves. Adding cryptocurrencies here to the strategic reserves. Lovely and fantastic. I want you to know something right now, real quick. Guess who is adding gold to their strategic reserves? I'm going to give you one guess. China. China is adding gold. Why? Well, let me read this to you. So China may buy more gold. They actually are buying gold. So China has purchased 160,000 ounces of gold after a 6-month pause. What China is doing here is preparing for a trade war with the United States. And how they're attacking it is adding gold to their reserves. Well, we are being thrust into a system we neither voted for nor want. And we're being pushed and bridged into a new system, which again, we neither voted for nor want. So you can see the setup here. Where would you rather be? Would you rather be adding gold like China is to their strategic reserves? Or would you rather be adding cryptocurrencies? Should we be doing both? Maybe. Okay, I get that. I'm a crypto advocate. You all know that. I've been telling you guys and girls to buy this stuff for 1,000 years. I'm in this spot. You all know that. Anyway, gold and silver under pressure again. People, look, man, I continue to get bombarded with, Greg, what's happening to gold? What's happening to silver? What's happening to commodities? People, please follow the blog. I've told you over and over and over and over again what's going on. The game remains risk on, at least for now. Could this change? Absolutely. But right now, the game is, let's keep rates artificially suppressed. Let's devalue the currency. Let's open up that doorway for cash to make its way into the stock market. And of course, cryptocurrencies. So where's the cash coming from? It should be going into commodities, but it's not yet. So just embrace this. All right. This is, again, people, look, man, I can't say this another way to you. The opportunity of a lifetime to get assets like these for massively suppressed prices. People, let me just let you in on a big secret here. There's more to China adding gold to their reserves than meets the eye here. First of all, China being a member of the BRICS nations, they don't want anything to do with this here. They're trying to develop their own system to circumvent the dollar. Trump is trying to protect the Federal Reserve, telling the BRICS nations, no, demanding that the BRICS nations stay in Federal Reserve notes. You see who he actually works for? You understand? Maybe you're starting to be brought up to speed. You're waking up a little bit, wakey. So there's much more than meets the eye here. Any nation, any individual that's adding gold and silver to their stockpiles is betting against their system. Anyone that's telling you to stay in the dollar is working for their system. You understand? So it's too obvious. But again, yes, China is preparing for a trade war, and what China's gonna do here, in case you don't know, China pretty much has a corner on rare earth metals. They've cornered the market there, and they're getting ready to weaponize that against the United States here in a trade war. And look, with this, what's about to happen, and I've outlined this for you guys and girls, you're going to see prices rise across the board. If you think inflation was bad before, it's going to get much, much worse. Not only are we going to deal with the issue of currency devaluation, the promises of lower rates right out of Trump's mouth, which he has no power to do, but he can work with the Fed to make sure rates are lowered so you suffer, the dollar gets destroyed here, purchasing power, tariffs here, those, again, the costs here are going to be paid by you, not by foreign nations. Stop with that nonsense. Those of you who don't understand what's going on here, and it's most of you it seems, okay? Oh, Greg, you're wrong on this. Really? Let's see how that plays out. It's an incredible thing how many people have been psyoped or brainwashed into believing, again, the same playbook that was sold to us last time ain't going to work. We were supposed to pay off the debt in 2 years with tariffs. That didn't work. We were supposed to shrink the trade deficit with tariffs. That didn't work. And just in case you don't know, tariffs are already in place. Biden pretty much adopted all of Trump's previous tariffs right now. Still ain't working. And we're going to get more of this stuff here? It's just a negotiation tool? Come on, man. The world is alienating the United States. They don't want our dollars. They don't want our products. And maybe you guys and girls need to start waking up here. Now, this is interesting. So we're hearing now that corporations are going to be using an algorithmic pricing method based on AI to maximize profits. So what that means is you're going to be sucked dry even more. Imagine our shock here. What else would you expect in this kind of an environment? Now, let me show you something else which is very, very interesting. This is a headline today from CNBC. The Fed is likely to cut rates, but some worry it may not be the right move. It's not the right move. We do not need lower rates. We already have that. You know that. When you hear a presidential selectee who obviously works for the Federal Reserve to bridge us into the new system, the Fed's new system, okay? When you hear the Fed itself saying we're going to be cutting rates, you know the polar opposite should be happening. Are we on the same page? Do you believe that the Fed should be cutting rates here and devaluing the currency, or that Trump was correct in promising you lower rates, which is exactly what the Fed wants? Duh! Are you starting to wake up? Okay. People do not believe, again, if you read through this article, that we need, again, they must be followers of this blog, our thing. We don't need this. We need to strengthen the currency. We don't need to artificially suppress rates to weaken it. It all sound about right to you? So people are starting to wake up to this method of destruction. Again, they want you sleeping. They want you to go back to sheep. Sheep. You understand? That's what they want. So they think you are. A means to an end, but you're not. You and me. You understand? But that's what they think you are. That's what they want you to believe you are. But you're not. You are an individual that's been created by the Almighty. All right, so I think that alone says something here. Now, with that, people, look, man, we're being destroyed. We're being absolutely decimated around the world. But other nations seem to be, they don't want that. Again, China's been portrayed to you as the enemy by our illustrious one, the new illustrious one, who's the same as the old illustrious one. I'm talking about Trump here. It's not the truth. Okay, you must believe these things here. We here in the United States are being destroyed by design. We're being eliminated by design. People around the world, I mean, the European Central Bank and the Fed, they're working together in concert to destroy us all. And of course, I mean, there's a movement of power away from, I mean, again, look, just don't take my word for this, but the United States, which used to be the economic engine of the world, now we're the laughing stock of the world. People are laughing at us with this, the government here and these UFOs and everything else they want to throw at us. Do you realize what's happening here? It's amazing, amazing. Anyway, look, so people, look, here's the situation here. We got a problem. I want you to keep watching the relationship between the 10-year yield and this federal funds rate. We'll see what the Fed's going to do tomorrow. Keep your eyes on the MMRI. Again, I got this wrong and I admit it. I did not believe this would happen. If we break higher here, people, I'll keep you on top of this. But if we see, you know what we're looking for? An uncontrolled sell-off in the debt market. Right now, this isn't uncontrolled yet. But I can say this with a high degree of confidence and certainty that if we do par or get equal 10-year yield and the federal funds rate, which right now the low end is 4.5, this market is going to throw a tantrum. Does the market need to fall? Well, yeah, it does. We don't get pullbacks anymore. We don't get corrections. But it could be dramatic, and I want all of you guys and girls to be ready for that. But we're hedged across the board anyway. If you're in the same positions as me, and I hope you are, you're diversified. You're spread out. You're not in any one asset class here. Me, I've been attacking this situation from multiple fronts, and I hope you are too. I tell you exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. Greg's an open book. Everybody knows that. Anyway, look, guys and girls. So we got this down. We know what's going on here. And I just want all of you to understand as well. Look, man, we're in this thing not because there's no risk, but because there is risk. You understand? And this has become a matter of survival. Again, they're destroying us here. Currency devaluation, the promises of lower rates. You can't make this stuff up. And we are so far removed from a constitutional republic or a constitutional money system, and we're getting pulled further and further away. As we are bridged into the new system. And I'm not the only one talking about this anymore. Have you noticed that? Maybe you and I were the first, but everyone is now aware of what's going on, that the bridge is being built into the new system. And this is all about right now mainstreaming cryptocurrency, deregulating the banks, deregulating cryptos, merging that together, getting us used to it, getting us to accept this new system here. I don't want to accept it. I want a constitutional money system. We're not going to get it. So forget the pipe dream, the Fed's going to end. We have now a presidential selectee who has been the best friend of the Federal Reserve in the history of the United States. You don't believe me? Look what happened to the debt under Trump last time. Hyper ballooning. Everyone was saying, oh, Greg, you don't understand. Trump's trying to bankrupt the Fed. Really? How can you do that? When the more product that they issue, the stronger they become. Come on, stop with the nonsense, get with the program, realize you didn't get what you voted for the most part. You got an alliance here, a very powerful alliance between the presidential selectee, the illustrious one, and the Federal Reserve, who are pushing us, thrusting us into a system that we didn't vote for, and we clearly don't want. We want to go back to a constitutional money system. We're not going to get it, but China's adding to their gold reserves. Imagine our shock. All right, guys and girls, we got this down. Let's continue to do what we're doing until I say no. That's all I'm telling you. But you gotta make up your own mind as to what you want to do with the system, what's going on here, how you want to play it as well. All right, I got your back as always. All right, I'm looking out for you. We look out for each other. That's what we do. All right, I will see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. for the live stream. People, please share the video, get it out there, comment here, and well, until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay.